It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limo or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar. Today we're at the fabulous Wayfair on Ferret Street. Wayfair is a restaurant and a bar serving handcrafted food and spirits where they put fine dining into a sandwich and fine booze into a glass and have a 3-hour happy hour here every day from 4 to 7 and a fantastic brunch on the weekend.
They do.
They do, says Andrew. And everyone's got a drink around here. My guests today are Olga, Chuck, and Sarah. I'll tell you more about them as the day goes on. But instantly, Olga, I see you having a Sazerac with ice in it, which you were sort of horrified about.
I was a little horrified about that.
They don't normally put ice in a Sazerac.
No.
What goes on with that?
Well, it's going to water it down. And
Right.
the thing is, it's going to sweat, as you see, which it already is. So I should have grabbed a napkin, because pretty soon it'll be swimming all over the table,
get someone
I suppose.
to get you a napkin.
It'll just be watered down, I suppose.
Okay. Other than that,
It's
you guys
not
have got
ideal.
sort of, what have you got, Chuck?
I just grabbed a top shelf margarita.
Top shelf margarita?
Tequila
Yes.
sets it off.
Sarah,
I
what
was
have
done
you
with
got?
it, actually.
I have a dirty martini. I started them at Commander's Palace.
This is your fourth martini in how many hours?
Well, I started 25-cent martinis for lunch at Commander's Palace. How do you not love that?
How do you not?
You can't beat that, but how long ago was that? 2 hours ago? 1 hour ago?
No, it's probably an hour and a half.
And so this is your fourth martini in an hour and a half. Good
Love
job.
it.
And good news for everybody, Andrew Duhon is back in town. Thank goodness.
Thanks, buddy.
We've missed you. You've been away a long time. Where the heck have you been?
Went to Portland and back.
Portland, that was all.
Well,
But
points
on
in
tour.
between. Yeah.
So how does the rest of the country like you?
It was really encouraging.
Good. I know you like to be modest and not overdo it, but seriously, for a minute.
Well, honestly, like the West Coast. You know what's funny? Pandora is a really good resource for artists these days, and they have a lot of data that's helpful to artists, and they're talking about giving that data to the artists, such as what cities are you played a lot in. And Seattle is my second city after New Orleans for playing my station. Never been to Seattle.
I was about to say, that's a pretty long stretch.
Yeah, I don't know.
that's like-
I've never been there. But I do like the West Coast a lot, and San Francisco is probably my...
Okay, so now
second
we're on to
favorite
something
city.
pretty interesting here. You've never been to Seattle, and yet it's the second most popular city in the country to play. Why would that be?
I got a couple tunes about rain. I don't know.
They have good taste, man. They have good taste.
That's
do?
right.
Right.
Impeccable taste. Yeah.
You do have that awesome song about rain. It's raining over what's it called? How does it
Oh
called?
yeah, coming down over here.
Coming
Yeah,
down
that's
over-
one.
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
that's a
there's
great
"It's Gonna Take a Little Rain" is another
Oh
song.
yeah, they're both good songs.
But,
do you think that might not? I mean, Mobile is actually the rainiest city in America. Did you
Is
know
that right?
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah, check it out on Wikipedia.
Wow. All right. You telling me info I didn't know. That's for sure.
Well, I know a lot of stuff, and
You
I
know-
know that because a guy in Mobile told me that.
I can tell you an
Yeah,
amazing phenomenon in Mobile Bay. Have you heard of the Jubilee, or what they call the Jubilee? This thing, it only happens in two places in the world, and one is Mobile Bay.
Okay.
The other one's somewhere
That's
far
scary
east.
right there. Yeah, I was
Okay.
going to say, what's the other one?
So, yeah, it's somewhere far east. I'm not exactly sure where. But this
The Far East,
low
meaning
oxygen...
Far east
Asia.
of the globe, not
Yeah,
the far
yeah.
east of the United States.
Right, Asia
Okay.
somewhere. So this low pocket of oxygen deep in the bay on certain conditions where the barometer reads something and the wind's blowing a certain way, I don't know. That low pocket pushes all the fish life toward the shore, and you end up with these piles of flounder just, sitting on the beach. So, back
for a good
back
day
in
of
the time.
fishing.
Wow.
Yeah, oh yeah. People just out there with
And
their
that-
gig
Damn,
poles, like
hello.
grabbing stuff, crabs and all kinds of stuff.
I
So.
went fishing.
Quote unquote.
Air quotes.
And
right?
why would that
There
be
you
called
go.
the Jubilee, I wonder?
I don't know.
What is a Jubilee technically? Anybody know that? It's like a 50-year celebration or something?
It's a get-together.
Oh,
It's like a
question.
country kind of get-together.
Drunken revelry? I don't know.
Usually
Is
like
it
a
something to do with
barn
every 50
dance. No.
Oh.
It happens like every year.
Happiness,
Jubilee.
happiness
Yeah.
everywhere.
In
Happiness
some
everywhere.
cases, every month. I mean, it just depends.
So how often does the Jubilee occur? And
It's completely
Mobile Bay.
unpredictable, but I would think it's not, not often. They'll have like small ones and big ones,
Mm-hmm.
So there'll be like a tiny one that only lasts half an hour. Not everything is coming up, but then there's be other ones that are giant. But I think like once or twice a year is probably what they.
And is it
expect.
okay?
That
to-
often? That surprises me. I would think it'd be like once every 5 years or something.
Yeah, they seem to happen. They used to have these bells. The houses along the bay had these giant bells, and they were to notify your neighbors that there was a jubilee going on. So everybody had their jubilee bell on the porch, and you could ring it in the middle of the night if there was a jubilee.
So that you could go down and get the fish.
Yeah.
The fish aren't all poisoned or fucked up
No,
or
they're
anyway.
just
They're just dead.
They might be
well, they're
now
just
with
out
all
of oxygen, lethargic.
Yeah.
That's what-
all the trash being dumped in the ocean. And
Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah.
That could be a
Nuclear
good
waste.
story for you. I see. They call you Charles here on my document, but your name is Chuck, really.
Yeah, most people call me
Everyone
Chuck.
calls you Chuck. When
Yeah,
did that
pretty
start
much.
happening? When you were a kid?
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of gone through phases. You know, it got to the point where I'd go to a job and then everyone would make up their own names for me because my name was Charles, and apparently it's entirely too long of a name for people to say. I don't know why.
It's one syllable.
One
That's
syllable,
my
but
point.
one syllable
but,
too
but
long.
people just don't feel comfortable saying that name for some reason, so I end
Okay.
up with 6 different nicknames. And
What are the others? Other than Chuck?
Charlie, Chuck,
Oh, Chuck.
Balls, Crazy, that guy over there.
You write
So-
down
And
balls
all of
when-
those, all of those
it,
are more than one syllable, too.
I thought I heard
see-
balls.
Yeah,
You said
that's-
balls.
Yeah,
that's
I,
from-
I
that's
wrote
from
that
birth,
down over
actually.
here, Sarah.
But
That's-
balls
that's
usually
one
gets
from
people's
birth.
attention.
From
so-
birth. Hang on a
Yeah.
sec. Hang on. We have to stop for a minute. You were called Balls at birth?
Yes. My brother did that.
How old were
The mystique is much more intriguing than the actual story is.
You
to be
didn't
perfectly
have
honest.
balls or testicles when you were born, I assume, did you?
I would assume they had not dropped, but I do not remember that far
Well,
back.
where did the word come from?
But my brother had
It was in
my
anticipation.
family's from the river parishes, and St. James Parish has a really, really heavy accent, heavy Cajun accent. So he didn't say Charles, he said Charles. And he gave everybody in the family nicknames, and I was the youngest.
This is
And
your
it just
brother.
happened to rhyme with balls. So I became Charles Balls. And then it was
Okay.
shortened. And then when we went through the 90s, it became Balls Cobain for a while, which was really funny. But
of
yeah,
Kurt.
yeah, of course, yeah. Because, I grew up in the 90s, so
Okay.
everybody was grunge and whatnot. But
Balls Cobain. I'm going to write that down. Well, that's your real name is Chuck Lucia.
pronounced Lucia here, yeah.
Lucia, you pronounce
They
it.
changed
Lucia.
it when they got to the shores.
So it's Italian originally, or
It is,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
Sicilian.
Italian.
Sicilian? Okay, so it's not Cajun. You didn't come from a Cajun
Well,
family.
half my family did. Half my family's Cajun French and half my family's Italian. So
Okay, so
I'm
your mother's side is
correct.
Cajun.
It's
What was
Petite,
their name? Petite.
Petiti.
Okay. That's interesting. That's not a very common Cajun name either, is it, Mr.
Not
Douillon?
really, no.
Not that I've heard. I guess not. I'm no connoisseur, but
Well, Miss Moon Allison is from Lafayette. It's not a common Cajun name, Petite. I wouldn't have thought so either.
No, I'm not a Boudreaux or any
Or
of those
Guidry or
guys, so-
Landry or
right,
any of
there
those
you go,
common
yeah,
Cajun
so-
names. But you are the co-director of the New Orleans Horror Film Festival.
I am, yeah.
okay. Now we're
Interestingly,
getting to
Yeah,
it.
that's
All
it.
right.
That's
Wait,
my
it's
first
like,
sentence.
Tired of this
down
name etymology. Let's
there.
get to it.
Yeah. what exactly is the New Orleans Horror Film Festival other than the obvious?
Well, it's a group of guys who got together and realized that there was no festival celebrating the horror genre or sci-fi genre in New Orleans, which seemed
Unbelievable.
completely. Does it not? It's
Yes.
really odd. I mean, we've got French film festivals, we've got children's film festivals. Pretty much, if you can think of a film festival, we have it. And until we started a horror film festival, we didn't have one.
When did we start it?
We started it 5 years ago.
Okay.
And we went through a lot of years, well, not a lot, 2 years of really serious kind of growing pains of finding our footing, finding out when to do it, how to do it, where to do it.
Well, let's go through all that. When is it?
Well, it's the last weekend of September every year is what we decided on. I went through the calendar and found the time of year closest to Halloween that has the least amount of other things going on,
Yeah.
That's a
basically.
good idea.
Yeah.
Because originally it was started by two gentlemen, one from, interestingly enough, Mobile, which we were just talking about, and one from California. He lives in Studio City. His name's JT Seaton. He's the other co-director right now. Blake has since dropped out. He got married and opened a restaurant in the same month, which you can imagine
Game over.
done completely, yeah.
Where's that? Here in New Orleans?
No, he did that in Mobile.
You have a restaurant in Mobile?
Yes.
Is it any good?
It is.
What's it called?
Montego's. And he's
Montego's.
I think he's just about to open his third place, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So it's doing really well.
You can have a chain in Mobile.
Apparently so, yeah.
Mobile's
This
doing
is
well
happening.
These
Is
days.
that Sarah? You ever
It's
go to
made a
Mobile?
comeback.
This is
Never been.
absolutely happening.
Never been to
I,
Mobile.
I just moved here 5 months ago, so.
You've only been in New Orleans 5 months.
Yeah, so how would I know Mobile?
Have you bought your tickets for the New Orleans Horror Film Festival yet?
Oh,
'Cause that's
you
pretty
know
much.
what?
I know you've only just got here, but that's something that everybody does. Everybody here goes to the Horror Film Festival.
Well, I'm gonna buy.
It's
I'm
the
gonna buy it
biggest
on
thing in
Groupon.
town.
I'm gonna get it
Get
on Groupon.
Groupon.
Wait, I have a question.
This is one thing we've never done. Sorry about that, folks.
That is a good idea, though.
There
When
is no
the
Groupon
festival?
out
What,
there.
what
It's-
weekend
it's-
did you find that?
It's the final weekend of September. So this year
Oh,
it's the
okay.
25th, 26th, and 27th are when the actual screenings are. The opening party, which is open to the public, is going to have the Troublemakers playing. It's over at 940 Mags on the Thursday before, so the 24th.
Troublemakers. Who's in the Troublemakers?
The Troublemakers are it's Jack Locke, my buddy Teddy.
Ah, that's our boy, Jack Locke.
Yeah, and
He's
their
great.
drummer changes, so I'm
This
not
is not
going
the
to pin their drummer.
Troublemakers.
Troublemakers,
The
yeah.
Troublemakers, not
Correct.
the Troublemakers.
No,
Treble.
the
The
Treble.
Troublemakers.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Jack Locke is the greatest.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's actually helping us with the PA for the film festival also. So
Yeah, he made a movie.
He did. I worked on it actually.
You did?
I did his
Targeted.
sound. Yeah, I did his sound. I did
Ah.
his all of his construction. I did most of his set dressing. A lot of his special effects.
Well,
So-
how did it turn out? Because we're dying to see that. We heard all about it from the inception of the show. He was our
I'm
very
stoked.
first guest ever
Really
on Happy Hour.
outstanding.
Yes, and when we started out, this is how long ago it was, he had long hair and a strange-looking
Yes.
beard, and he was really freaky.
Well, it was really funny. The first time I met him, I was working for WTUL, and I thought just from his sound that he was the lead singer of Acid Bath. And I was like, this guy's screwing with me, man. He went over and he changed his fucking name and he's messing with everybody out there. And this is bullshit. And then I met him and I was like, oh, wow, you're really not him.
Yeah.
You're really not Dax Riggs. Okay, no problem.
No, he is. He's changed completely. And
Yeah,
now he's
completely.
now he's a film director, and
Yeah,
we're looking forward to seeing. I think
he's
the
doing
film's
a lot of different things
but
now.
it's not a horror film, so you can't.
It's a period western. It's set in the 1850s, if I'm not mistaken, late 1850s.
Yeah, I think it's coming out in September or something as well. So
Yeah,
we have to.
October. We're doing the screening
October.
on October 16th, if I'm not mistaken, at
the-
Rare Form also for
Rare
Targeted.
Form.
Yeah,
Is that where the horror film festival is?
Yeah,
Just
it
a
is.
moment. Our fabulous producer Graham DePonte is leaving already. What's going
Yay.
on? Where are you going?
Hey.
Directions. I have to go back to my.
Back to your real job, trying to save people from the death chamber.
Oh, God bless her.
That's what she really
God
does.
bless you, Graham.
We
Okay.
had a stay of execution.
Stay of execution.
Isn't that awesome?
Come and talk into the microphone here, so everyone.
So, Richard Glossop, new execution date is September 30th, but I don't think it's going to happen. That's just my prediction.
So he was supposed to be executed today.
Today at
That's-
2 o'clock Central Time.
Is he a bad
Wow.
man?
What
No.
form of execution?
Innocent.
Oh, what?
There is so. All right, first of all, I think he may not be innocent, but he is definitely not clearly guilty. You can't execute people who are not clearly guilty.
Fair.
And- yeah, right? Right.
What's his name again?
His name is Richard Glossop. So just read the New York Times. Yeah. that's all.
Okay. So did you have anything to do with him not being executed today, Graham?
No. You know what? I called the governor for sure. Yes, I think it was me. I called the
job.
governor of Oklahoma.
I think it was me.
I see Susan Sarandon retweeted you
Yes,
on
she
Twitter.
retweeted me. She favorited my tweet. She didn't retweet it, but she favorited my tweet. Awesome.
That's pretty cool. Okay, well, congratulations, I guess, on saving a life there.
Yes,
For now.
absolutely.
Pretty impressive job.
Okay, sorry. I have to say,
When I-
Graham is awesome, and
She is.
no, she is. I mean, she's
And this is not the martinis talking, right?
no, it's not. It's honesty.
Not all you guys are.
But the honesty comes out after a couple of
Oh,
martinis,
yeah.
and so does
Okay,
the
okay,
love.
that's
It's just
true.
it's
Love
a
it,
fact.
Graham.
you know?
I thought that she was going to say something completely different when she said stay of execution. Sorry. She was
What
being
did you think?
serious. I don't know. It's a general term you use now. She was being dead serious. Well, serious.
there
Sorry,
you
let
go.
me not
Right.
use
Not dead serious,
You're all
thank you.
good.
Non-dead serious.
Now, when she's
Or
not producing a
undead.
podcast, she's saving lives.
Apparently so.
Pretty crazy.
I have a
You
question.
go, girl.
I have a question about the horror film fest. Is it a platform for new horror films, or do you celebrate old films?
It's actually probably the most common question we get. All of our films are new. They're all
Cool.
indie, and very few of them have distribution. We have a company called Terror Films that comes in
That's
to
cool.
try and give distribution to the films.
So how do people find you? If I've got a horror film, how do I find...
Well, we have a Facebook page. We do Instagram. We do all the social media.
This is how I get my film in a festival. Now I go on Facebook and I just look for
that's just the links. There are links that you can get to be able to submit to us. You can also go to our webpage at www.nohff.com.
Yeah, okay, but if I made a horror film and I live in some other place and I don't know you... How do people who make a horror film get in a festival?
When you
online,
if you go to
just
the website,
Google.
If you're gonna take the time,
Olga's in the film biz as well.
Fact, yeah. If you're gonna take the time to put the money and effort into making a film, you're not gonna drop the ball at the end with trying to get somebody to see it. So you're gonna take the time.
I'm asking you, how do I get people to see it? Like Google.
Yeah, you Google how there are only 3 or 4 platforms that you can literally submit things.
Are you
on.
on Without a Box?
Google.
No. It's actual
more?
Submission sites. Submission sites are things like...
Well, there are actual submission sites.
Yeah,
okay, what are they?
Film Freeway and Without a Box are the two that we use.
Film
personally.
Freeway and what?
And Without a Box.
Without a Box.
Correct.
There's another one you might consider the
compelling name.
Short Film Central.
We've been
Without
looking
a
at
box,
that
like-
one.
Without a box.
Problem
That'd
with
be
it is
like
that
someone who didn't have a
short
coffin.
films, and a
Right.
lot of our
That's what I was thinking.
Exactly. Sorry, what were you saying there?
I was telling about Short Film Central.
Shortfilmcentral.com.
There's a couple more that we're looking at next year that we're probably going to switch to. Without a Box has gotten a little bit expensive as far as their submission fees. So we're
fees.
because they take we charge a submission fee that changes throughout the year, and then they tack on something on top of it
Okay,
to
so
make their.
I can't just send my horror film into you. I have to accompany
It doesn't work
it
that
with...
way. When you get over 600 films, it's kind of hard to keep them. You know, you can't just have people sending DVDs to your house. You need some way to catalog it. You need some way to figure out exactly what it is you're looking at. On top of that, it cuts out the time that it takes to send something through the mail. You know you're going to get it in on time. Once it's submitted, it's submitted. And we go through and we look at everything, and then there's a specific deadline. And once the films are chosen, the site itself tells the filmmakers who was chosen and who was not, and then we start sending out our letters. So it's a really good process.
Big deal. You got 600 submissions.
Yeah.
And how many slots are there?
We have 3 slots of short films, which have between 8 and 12 short films apiece, depending on the length.
3, 12 to 36.
Yeah, so it depends on the length. Some are.
I always thought you could just tell me how many films are in it.
Well,
me figuring it out.
This
how
year,
many films are in the film?
I think this year we have 47 total.
47 films. Okay.
I think we have 47 this year.
Out of 600, so your chances are pretty slim of getting into this. Is a pretty.
It's rough. It's I mean.
How interesting.
And we're pretty stringent on our choices. Also, you've really got to kind of wow us. And
so you must
some
like
years, some do.
You
Some
must
years,
like
some
horror
don't.
films. Obviously.
I'm a fan. I completely dislike
So do you
them.
get?
Suck.
Do you still get scared or nauseated or whatever when you watch them, or is it all just old hat?
I don't really get scared too much anymore. Every now and then a jump scare will catch me if I'm not expecting it. I do get creeped out though. You still get kind of the feeling from it, you know. Like one of the films we have this year, House on Pine Street, is one of the creepiest films I've probably ever seen.
House on Pine Street.
Yeah,
is
and
that Pine Street here, uptown?
No, I think it was shot actually
Boulder?
around the Massachusetts area, if
Okay.
I'm not mistaken.
What's it about? I mean, okay, let's guess. There's a house, and somebody shows up there. And what happens?
You're along a pretty good track.
Yeah.
Pine trees.
Yes,
Obviously.
Pine Street, okay.
Pine Street and pine trees, because
Good
usually,
point.
you know, the street would be named after.
And
The
it's,
trees along
it's at
it.
night.
Actually, it's
It's at
not.
night. It's a dark and
It's
stormy
not.
night.
That's the thing. It's not. It's
Oh.
one of the things about the film that really struck me was that 45 minutes of the film, the first half of the film, is shot completely during the day, without any camera tricks, without any, ghostly images or shadows or anything.
And it's
It's
scary.
still creepy as hell, man. It freaked me out.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie.
This person must be a pretty good filmmaker. then.
It was two brothers, two twin brothers, 24 years old, and they
Twins.
knocked it out of the park, man.
House
it out
on
of the park.
Pine Street. Okay, we have to make a note of that so we make sure we see that one.
Awesome.
House on Pine Street. How much am I paying to get into the horror film festival?
It's $8 if you go to universe.com to buy tickets in advance. It's 10 at the door.
Wait, is it out
That's
now?
affordable.
No, they don't have distribution yet.
No, the film's not out.
No,
but
right.
The only way you can see it is to go to the horror film
Correct.
festival.
They don't have
See
distribution.
House on Pine Street. So, what street do you live on here?
I live on
Sarah?
Olympia Street.
Olympia.
Yeah,
How
I
did you pick that 5 months ago when you got here?
That's who my roommate. She knew I was coming into town, moving from Chicago, and
You moved here from Chicago.
I did 5 months ago. And
Right.
Why?
Is this your? No. Well, I'm not why,
No.
but that's a good question. Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Good question.
It's a
Stumped.
It's a
I
stumper.
know, right? So no. So
It's always a stumper. Why do you move to New Orleans?
I've been volunteering at Jazz Fest for 5 months. I would come here
For 5 years, you mean, probably.
I mean, 5 years.
Right.
And sorry, and work in a beer tent for Miss Lena's Brigade, part of the Threadhead organization, and just loving it. And I kind of fell in love with New Orleans. I thought, oh my God, there's only so many places that I would love to move to, and I'm a big fan of live music, so I thought it's going to be Austin or New Orleans. And I went to Austin. They think they're weird.
They're not weird.
They're not weird. They're not
No,
weird.
they're not weird at all.
No, they want to be weird. It's so
no,
weird.
Are they poser weird? Is that what
No,
I'm hearing?
no.
What is going on?
It might be
here?
weird
Sorry,
for Texas, maybe.
I've never been,
don't
so I
know, but
can't
don't
say.
think
I don't know.
so.
Weird
I
for
don't think
Texas.
so.
That's what they should call it.
No, seriously. Everything in Austin is, they're like, oh, keep Austin weird. And I thought, there is nothing weird about Austin.
No,
nothing.
there's not.
It's
Maybe
not,
we
no.
got there too late.
But you
Maybe
need
it
a
used to
car.
be weird.
No. I used to live in Dallas, and I would go visit there.
Oh, you've lived in Texas.
Yeah, I lived in Dallas, and that was not weird. It was weird to live there, but it's not
Right.
weird.
How long did you live in Dallas for?
A year. My company relocated from Florida, so.
What did you do? What?
I worked for Viacom International.
Viacom. That's talk about the film biz. That's
Right.
Paramount Pictures and MTV and everything.
Right. Well, yeah.
What did you do for them?
Oh Lord, I was an operations manager. I started in Chicago. We opened up Viacom International store on Michigan Avenue, 30,000 square foot store. We had 15 Nickelodeon stores, and Sumner Redstone pulled the plug.
Sumner Redstone's the guy who owns it all.
Yeah.
Still. Is it still? It's a publicly traded company, or isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. I love that company. It was the most creative people I've ever worked for. But he didn't see the return on his investment, so he kind of pulled the plug.
What from all these stores?
For all these stores.
What were you selling at these Paramount stores exactly?
Well, let's see. In Chicago, the first store that they opened up which was the 30,000 square foot store. They had Star Trek. Huge. Everything from Star Trek, everything. All the ridiculous, like, anything from Star Trek that any collector would want. Amazing. Like, $10,000, $30,000 items people would buy in a heartbeat because they are, like...
I have so much more that I can spend $10,000 on. I'm just saying.
Up to 30,000.
Right? No.
I thought you
mean,
could
I
make a
even-
whole film.
I don't even want to think about
can't.
$30,000 right now.
You know,
Thank you
but
very
What
much.
would you be able to buy for $30,000 in the Star Trek collector item world?
You could...
Some kind of digit of somebody. I don't like some relic.
Yes.
Han Solo's finger?
That's
I don't
what
know.
I'm
No. It's
Han
no.
Solo's
That's
under
Star
there.
Hello,
Wars.
Star Trek.
I might pay
Star
attention.
Trek.
My bad.
Yeah.
Sweetheart.
Dude, I was doing the
you're
same
young.
thing.
You're
Same
Captain
thing.
Kirk's
You're
underwear.
I was, yeah.
No,
You were
but
thinking
Star
the same
Trek.
thing.
No, but
Got
like
it, Star
no,
Trek.
like
Spock's ears.
you could. No, well, yeah, you actually could buy that. They had everything, and they had like. You could have like that, so like the first original or second original, because they had to make so many different molds of everything, and it was amazing. And people would
Okay, so what-
buy
yeah, what?
$1 million worth of. It was crazy. So
Okay, but they closed the thing down. So you're out of a job or what?
no, the best part of it
Not
was
so simple.
it's so simple. Yeah, no, but the best is. So I was here with them in Chicago, and then I went to Texas, and then I came back to Chicago, and then said, like, we're shutting you down. I said, damn it, yes. And they
And
gave
that's
me
what gave you the freedom to come here then.
yes,
So this is all current events.
right. It's
So
all good.
Viacom just shut all this stuff down this year.
Well, a couple of years ago, but yeah, it's
So
all
you-
good.
So it's taken you a couple of years to get it together to come down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it gave me an amazing package money to do things, and
The severance package.
severance
So you had
packages
a-
are fabulous.
So you had a pretty big deal job there then at Paramount, Viacom.
But with Viacom, yeah, I was the operations manager. It was
Operations
phenomenal.
manager of all these stores.
Right, it was phenomenal.
So you're
Yeah.
like a successful business person.
I was, and now
Right,
I'm not.
And now you're drinking 4 or 5 martinis in a
Yeah,
couple
well-
hour period and getting loaded at 3
Gotta
o'clock.
spend
in
the
the afternoon.
severance.
Hell yeah,
Okay.
yes I am.
Sometimes it's got to be done.
Well, listen, you moved to the right town. Congratulations.
Thank you. I know. I love it.
You're home.
I am.
Good
huh?
job.
You know what? Can I say something?
Yes.
One of my favorite things about moving here, one of my favorite things about moving here is when I tell people that I just moved here, they say, "Welcome home." And they actually mean it. And they're sincere and it's sweet. And I just want to hug them.
Oh, well, you can hug everybody here.
I hug no, I'm a hugger.
Hug Balls Cobain. Go right ahead. Oh, that's very sweet.
No, I hug everybody.
25-cent
awesome.
Martini Hugathon.
This is turning into Oprah.
No, but everybody is serious. It's.
Well, it is a place that if you love it here, if you connect with New Orleans, it is like being home because you can't go anywhere else after here.
Well,
That's the end of the line, right, Olga?
You can't.
Olga moved here from some fancy place, Colorado or something, right?
Yeah, San Francisco to Colorado to here.
Right, and there's, you're stuck. You've been here forever.
I've been here forever. I had a little jaunt in Mississippi and Memphis.
Right, but you've been living in New Orleans. You're based in New Orleans for a long time.
Yeah.
So tell us Olga, last time we talked to you, every time you come on the show, we hear a whole different Olga story, like a whole different personality. Started off that you're a musician.
oh boy.
Then you
Sybil?
were. We had a thing. You were on
Reinvention.
one show. We named the show after you, called "I Was a Stand-In for a Horse,"
Oh, right.
in which you played a horse in a movie.
I was. That was
months.
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes.
Oh, Lord.
And then last time you were on the show, I think we talked a lot about skydiving, perhaps.
Yes, that still
And
is
also
happening.
Quentin Tarantino's foot fetish. I think you were involved with that or something. Remember that?
Yeah, in a way.
This is all coming back to me now. Who's texting you here? Anybody good?
Yeah, two of my skydiver girlfriends.
What do they say?
They just want to know when
Surf's
another
up.
friend of ours is going to announce her pregnancy.
Oh,
I
there
guess
you
she
go.
just
Announced.
did.
All right. Here we go.
Not going to be able to skydive anymore after.
Does anybody have
pregnant.
sex while they're skydiving?
You know what? You're just focused on a few other things. It's too hard.
You couldn't do it.
It's free fall. You know
Just
how hard
made
it's
me
like,
think about that pregnancy and skydiving. Not the two things that I would connect normally.
and then you really only have
You
a
could've-
minute. And then you sort of
That's
got to
plenty.
start thinking about, saving your life.
all it
Not
takes.
hitting the
That's-
ground.
You have
Yeah,
a minute's
there's
good.
that.
a minute's
minute's
tons of
fine.
time, right? Yeah. So you have a minute of free fall. Jesus, that must be a long time. It feels like
It can be a long time if you're just hanging out. Then a minute's a really long time.
I mean, it would feel a minute. You're going down, 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 down. At how many miles per hour? Or
Well,
whatever?
depending on what body position you're in, at least 132 miles an hour. But if you're head down or like on your back or something, it'll be like the other day we were going 167 miles an hour.
Wow.
It's pretty fast.
But you don't feel it, is the thing.
You don't?
No, you don't feel it at all.
No,
It
you
just feels a
don't.
little windier.
A little windier than
Yeah.
what? Than sitting still here in the
Yeah.
Wayfarer at a bar drinking a Sazerac. I
Yes,
would think it
it's-
would.
With
It's
ice.
windier, yes.
No, you don't feel it at all.
You don't
at
feel
all.
it at all. Nope.
I would be.
You feel like you're
absolutely
floating. If
petrified.
anything, you feel like you're in water.
You're not scared, though. I would be very scared.
I would be lying if I say that I don't still get excited. And in fact, most skydivers do, but they've turned it into excitement instead of like petrification.
Right.
So they actually have a sign in the plane that says "No farting, please," because people get their stomachs get going.
You can stop yourself.
I always fart in the plane. I'm sorry, but it's like the pilot said that you should not be holding that in because it can cause some serious problems. So
Could it?
it's yeah.
What could it do?
Well,
you
you
don't
have some
fart,
intestinal problems.
Exploding intestines are probably not good, I'm thinking.
That and,
But you're
and
going
maybe
down.
some
But
heartburn.
you're going down.
No,
so
when
not
you're
up.
climbing. When you're
Oh,
climbing.
When you're
When
Changing
you're climbing,
pressure and whatnot?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pressure changes because it's not pressurized cabin.
I've been on quite a few flights. Haven't you guys been flying quite a bit? I don't
Yeah, but
remember
we all,
farting.
That's
and
'cause
flying.
it's pressurized.
cabins, dude.
Oh, the cabin's pressurized. It's
Yeah.
not pressurized.
Wait, no, I did that, and they never told me about farting. Sorry, that was not part of my.
Did a tandem?
Believe me, no, it's not part of my tandem. No.
You jumped
There's
out
a
of
sign on the
I
plane.
did.
But everyone farts anyway. But they hope that it'll be when the doors open. Like sometimes they'll open up the door at about 2,000 feet, and they'll just leave it open until about
Depending
8,000
on how
feet.
bad it is.
That's why.
And some people jump out at around 5,000 feet, and then they just leave the door open because they're just like, man, just let it out. If you got to do it now. But I always get like too excited. So usually around 10,000, 11,000 feet is when I have to fart.
Here's my thinking, Olga. I'm thinking if
Things
you
you
guys
didn't know about skydiving.
if you guys have some people who seem a little unsure of the jump, maybe you create like a 10-minute hot box in there, get some good ones out of there, so that they're ready to jump once you open that door.
you force them out of the plane,
It's
right?
a running joke. I mean, like usually if someone dealt one, someone's like pointing at like, all right, who dropped that one? It's It's kind of skydivers have a really good sense of humor, so it's there's a lot of
Considering-
joking. There's a lot of joking around on the climb.
Considering that it may be the last joke that you make, I would.
It won't be.
that would
In
rock.
fact, it's. I was just reading yesterday because there was an avalanche that killed like a bunch of hikers yesterday in France, like 9 of them.
Wow.
So
Wow,
I didn't know
and
anything
I
about
was
that either.
reading
Nor
that
do
just
I.
in France alone this year, the people that have died in avalanches is 39. That's just in France Alps,
Wow.
not including on.
Apparently, they have problems
other
with
mountain
avalanches in
so
France.
clearly,
What's it
it's
got to do
much
with-
more. Skydiving is safer than hiking and skiing. Clearly.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I
I
thought
guess
this
I'm
was
going skydiving.
I thought
I'm
this
just
was a
saying,
farting
it's
story.
safer than taking a bath too. Believe it or not.
skydiving.
Well,
fewer
now I
peop-
know. The next time I go,
400
I'm gonna have
people
to.
a year
I'm gonna
die
have to
in the
fart.
bathtub.
I'm gonna have to fart.
Fewer people
Yeah.
die skydiving than drown in the bathtub. Is that
You
what
have
you're
more of a
suggesting?
chance of getting struck by lightning than you do dying from skydiving.
But everybody is susceptible to lightning, and not everybody goes skydiving.
Right.
Well, this is based on 3-4 million jumps a
Yeah,
year.
that's the thing. It's like how many numbers.
Based off of
No, but
7.6
statistically,
billion
it's still the same
people.
thing. If you
That
jump out of a
stand-ups.
plane, you're probably going to make it.
Yeah.
You're not
Well,
going
of
to
course.
die.
Yeah, you're
Well,
not
that's-
going to die.
But it's not the same to say like it's more dangerous to go hiking than skydiving because of a statistic that 39 people died. But if 3
that's
billion
only
people,
in France alone, so
right.
not including
But
Swiss
I don't
Alps.
know. I don't know what the numbers
Austrian
are. But
Alps,
if the numbers
Italian
are like,
Alps.
2 million people went hiking and only 300,000 went skydiving, then that's
no,
the
no,
disparity.
No,
you know.
it's more than 300,000 go skydiving.
Of course,
but,
I'm making
yeah.
these numbers up.
right.
But, you know.
But you actually have more of a chance of dying on a regular airplane than you do from skydiving. That was actually
A
above
lot more people are on
skydiving.
planes and
Wait,
skydiving.
because
Yeah.
simply
So-
because the more people died per year.
That's per year. Yeah.
But
I see what you're saying.
yeah, thanks.
Per capita, basically.
Yeah.
Is what
Exactly.
you're
You got to
looking at.
consider the per capita. Is the
Yeah.
other thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the chances of you dying from a skydiving accident
Very,
are slim.
very
We've
slim.
established
Yeah,
that.
no.
How often do you go up and down?
Several times a month.
Several times a month.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
is it expensive? Is it like an expensive
I own my
habit?
own
Like-
stuff, so no, it's not.
You got your own
for me.
parachute?
I got
and
my own gear.
What color's your jumpsuit?
Electric blue,
Nice. Okay.
Do you,
I get it.
and I got a blue helmet. Like my whole outfit's pretty awesome. White gloves and my rig and everything matches, and I totally look the part.
Do you pack your own?
Of course you do.
Do you pack your own parachute as well?
I can, but it takes me a really long time. So I have a kid that packs for me.
A kid.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
scary.
Don't
No,
piss
no.
him off.
How
He
old? Yeah.
snivels the nose, so I have like really long openings, so it's like a lot softer. Because when you
he's like your
when you
skydiving
deploy,
Sherpa.
you're basically falling from 130 miles an hour to 20 miles an hour, so it's a pretty abrupt stop.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. You're going from.
It doesn't if you pack it right, and it doesn't. It will if the parachute just opens immediately, but you don't have it do that because it might knock you out, or that might actually break your neck or something.
So
So
there's different ways of packing the
you
parachute. so
pack
that
it in a
opens
way
different
where it
ways.
opens
Now we're
slower,
getting
and I have it
serious.
open like really slow.
Okay.
So you feel the initial pull, but then it just you kind of look up and it does this little flowering thing, and it takes about 5 seconds for mine to
So
open.
is it like being
Like
like
addicted?
fully
sound effects.
open, fully
Is it
open?
like being addicted to drugs?
Yeah, it's like
You have
I
to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's. I just experienced, I think, the greatest high in my life on Sunday. I have never and sober. I mean, like not drunk, nothing.
Drunk skydiving. That's
No,
an
no, no.
interesting
I'm just
concept.
saying. I'm just
No,
saying.
I'm
Like,
saying in
I think we all need to try
not
that.
that.
That sounds like a plan.
Not
Right.
people think of getting high. They think of
Let's
like
go today.
drugs, and usually, but this was like totally
So,
like
so tell us that you've done this.
mentally,
Okay, so try and
spiritually, and,
try and
like,
walk us through it.
energy.
So you've done this 100 times before, or probably more than 100 times.
No,
You've
actually, I haven't. That was 75.
Okay, that was number 75.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened on number 75 that was so markedly different
Well,
from the first?
what happened on
74?
number 75 is that we did what we call a wingsuit rodeo. So I'm sure you've seen the guys with, they call them squirrel suits. Some people refer to them as squirrel suits. Okay, those are called wingsuits.
These are guys that jump off a canyon or something. Top
That's
of a
called
mountain
proximity flying, but you can do that with wingsuits. We were
the
jumping
same
out of a
thing.
plane. So
with a wingsuit on.
well, my friend was on a wingsuit. I was regular, just holding on. I rode his back, like the Good Luck Dragon in the Never Ending Story.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Awesome.
It was amazing.
This is an interesting.
And the thing
little-
is that our first attempt didn't go that well because we tried to launch like 3 wingsuit rodeos at the same time. And so we launched and I never got my right arm on his back. So I ended up just kind of riding with one arm. And we were like wrestling and fighting. And he backflipped me and I backflipped him. And then we like flew sideways for a while. And I was like, well, I don't know. This might work for a while. And I was like, no, this isn't going to work because we can't get stable. And we did the spins. And that's where we got to about 167 miles an hour. But anyway, at that point, at around 9,000 feet, I'm like, I'm just going to let go so he can fly because I don't even know where I am right now. And I pulled my parachute and was like, all right, where's the airport? Oh, there's the airport. Okay. But then I landed and I was really bummed because I didn't actually get to ride. So we're like, well, let's do it again. All right. So we plan a different exit this time where I could just exit totally docked.
So when that means he jumps out, you're holding on to him?
I'm holding on to his back,
okay.
the back of his rig. And so this time when we left, I like grabbed him and I just like pounced and like jumped him. Like on a horse. This is where the rodeo part comes in, you know. I jumped him and he like arched and then he like boom.
Hello.
We got to like a
yeah, this is definitely going
steady
into right.
position. And as soon as I got on, I was like, yahoo, right? And I'm like riding, and I was all excited. And the thing is that when you're right behind him, when you get in that right spot, then the air is really still. It's called a burble. So there's like no air going by there. So I could actually let go my hands. And then finally, I remembered him telling me, make sure you geek the camera. So I was like, oh, yeah, the camera. And he had a GoPro on his helmet. So I reached out for the GoPro, and I turned the GoPro, and I was like, I was like geeking the camera.
Okay, so.
And then at like 7,000 feet, I was like, all right, bye. And I just rolled off. And yeah, it was incredible.
So he's wearing the wingsuit.
And I'm riding on his
back. So what happens to him after you let go?
He keeps flying.
Can you fly without a parachute on that thing? Can you go all the way?
He has a parachute.
He has a parachute too?
Yeah. Yes.
I would hope so.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He has two
Unless
parachutes.
He can run 170 miles an hour when he hits it.
He doesn't have a parachute.
He's like a road runner.
So the guys with the wingsuits who jump off the canyon, they have a parachute too?
They have, they have a parachute too, but what they do is a little bit more of a risk because there's not a lot of room for error. When you're flying like close to rocks and that kind of thing, the smallest error, then you're plowing right in the mountain. Whereas in skydiving, you have a lot of altitude, which means you have a lot of time, and you have the sky. Yes, it's possible that you might, bump into someone and you try not to. Like you don't want that. You try to know where you're going.
But you can move. You can move where you're
heading.
heading.
Oh yeah, you can
move where you're heading.
You control
everything.
And then what happens is that when you deploy and say you have a problem, you've got time to either fix the problem or get rid of the problem and fly your reserve. So you have like a lot more room for error.
So do you think you would like to be the person wearing the wingsuit next time?
I'm not at the point.
Are you asking if she would like to be ridden? Is that what you just said?
I just wonder if it's such a great thing to ride.
Be ridden at some
point. Are we going there? Are we going there already?
Yeah.
But riding on the back of someone wearing a wingsuit.
Amazing.
Wouldn't it be even more amazing to be the person wearing the wingsuit?
I'm sure it will, but you need to have like a lot of skill.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, you need to train for that. You need to have a certain amount of skydives and that kind of stuff. Like you wouldn't just someone who's a first-time wingsuit flyer, you would just get on their back. Like they wouldn't know they wouldn't have control. They wouldn't be able to deal with if they lost heading.
And you have like their life is in your hands, right? I mean,
no,
really. I mean,
no.
really. It kind of is if they don't know what they're doing.
Well, if they don't know what they're doing, I'll just bail. But,
right.
I mean,
no. No, you're not going to bail. But if they're
I'll bail. I mean,
it's like nah.
If things aren't working out, then I'll bail. Yeah. But it's like the point is that you want it to work out because the thrill is flying on their back because it's like you're not falling straight down. You're kind of going.
You're riding
vertical.
Someone.
You're
literally riding someone. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thrill.
Which, with the extra weight on their back, has got to be the extra.
Like you'll fall faster.
Be
You'll fall like at maybe 144 miles an hour, but you're also traveling horizontally.
Right.
So you're covering more grounds and you're traveling pretty fast, like maybe 80 miles an hour.
And you've bought a ukulele here today as well.
I did.
Oh,
on top of all that, she plays the ukulele.
Of course she does.
Come on, this is a good opportunity.
I got lazy schlepping my guitar everywhere.
This is a good opportunity to play a song.
I believe a ukulele is in order, right? Ukulele is in order.
Yeah, it is, absolutely, Sarah. What sort of music do you listen to, seeing you going out to hear live music all the time since you moved here?
Everything is like my favorite. Like, can I tell you my favorite bands lately?
You can.
Mississippi Rail Company, I think, is phenomenal. Like, I don't know. There's something about them that is phenomenal. Gino Delaflo's Washboards.
Gino Delaflo's, he's not from here, but he's from up in Lafayette somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. He plays
Washboard Chaz.
Washboard Chaz also plays the washboard.
Right.
He is from here. Gino Delaflo's plays it like what, rock and ball or something? You play the washboard?
Once a month, yes, he does.
He is great. And he's a cowboy.
He is. Yeah.
I can barely listen to Cajun music anymore.
You can't take it? Really? Because you're from there?
I worked in a Cajun bar for 8 years, and I heard it every single night that I worked. I can sing songs in French that I don't know the words to.
Right.
8 years is a long time.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's odd.
Do you play anything?
I don't know. I grew up tinkering a little bit, and then I went in a completely different direction and started blowing things up. And now that's what I do. So.
Now you blow things up for a living.
Yeah, I'm
in the movies.
I'm a licensed pyrotechnician and special effects.
Oh, okay, we have to get onto that in a minute. Let's talk about pyrotechnics after we come back from hearing a song. Olga, what are you going to play? Can anyone hear that low rumbling hum type noise here?
Not till you mentioned it. Thanks, Grant.
I was trying to wonder if we could get rid of it. Chris fixed it. Okay.
Hey,
Olga.
hey, 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 hey. Comes and it goes and it comes back around. Leaves me one day, then shows up when I'm down. Reaching and reaching to catch if I can. Hold on a moment for the flies from my hand. Always a step ahead of my feet. Always beckoning me to greet. Yeah. Comes and it goes and it comes back around. Comes and it goes back around. Comes and it goes and it comes back around. One day I'm free, tomorrow I'm bound. Turning up on my head, yeah. Before I'm asleep, slipping into my bed. Always a whisper, come hither to meet. Always a second hand of the beat, yeah. Comes and it goes and it comes back around, yeah. Comes and it goes back around. This time I will let myself by. This time I catch it falling at night. And I will see it through. Oh, yeah. You know. Comes and it goes and comes back around. Yeah, it comes and it goes and comes back around. It comes and it goes. Hey, you know, back around. Comes and it goes back around.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, nice, Olga.
Thank you.
It's very interesting you chose that song.
Oh, that's right. It
The
was on
last
that thing.
song on the last disc that I ever did for WTUL before I left
Forgot
the
about
station.
that. Yeah, forgot about that.
What do you mean? That's on a record?
She
It's on a record.
submitted that song to us for WTUL's compilation disc for local film or local music, and I used to put together the compilation disc for that. I was local music director for 4 years for WTUL.
Wow, you've done
and
some
that was
stuff.
that was the last track on the last disc that I did before I left.
Wow.
Interestingly, so
That was just a coincidence
Yeah.
that you decided to play that. Olga.
I did, and interesting is because I wrote all these songs on guitar, but trying to figure out which ones work on ukulele has been sort of an interesting project. That
How
I
can
do.
you figure out what you think you could just play anything on the same thing?
It doesn't sound the same, like the voicing.
Yeah.
It depends on the song. Some
Right.
songs translate really well. That one translates well.
Hey, play something
There's a-
behind me while I do these announcements here.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Just anything that you think
Sweet.
would go with some sort of, commercial. Okay. Let me tell you about the people who made today's show possible. Thank you to Petite Pet Care. If you're going out of town or you have a crazy schedule, the folks at Petite Pet Care will take care of your pet in his or her own home. For loving care when you're not there, go to petitepetcare.com. Thanks to Basics Swim and Gym, where you can get a full range of fashion swimsuits, workout and yoga clothes with style. Basics Swim and Gym is on Magazine Street near Jefferson Avenue. And our friends at Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover. You listen to me, Sarah, this is important for you. Go to the Hangover Destroyer website. It's called hdestroyer.com. You write happy hour in the coupon code and you get 30% off of Hangover Destroyer, and you'll thank me tomorrow when you can also seize the dawn. Thanks to unlistednola.com, the revolutionary new way to buy a house in New Orleans. If you know what you're looking for, you can find your perfect match before it comes on the market. It's the match.com of real estate. It's called Unlisted Nola, and you can see it at unlistednola.com. Music by Olga. We don't use your other name ever, I see, Olga, which you have one.
I have a very long one.
It's not that long. It's just
It's very long.
3 syllables. Isn't it?
No, I have a very long name.
What's the total number of syllables?
Well, I'm not even going to give you the full name, but if I were just going to give you my first, my middle, and my short and last name, my middle name is Wilhelmina, and my last name is Munding.
Oh, that's 2 different words. Wilhelmina Munding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wilhelmina
Olga Wilhelmina Munding. I like the sound of that,
Yeah.
actually. But listen, we're going to talk about blowing shit up
It's a
in a
little
minute.
too much to fit on a resume.
Yeah. But look, I found this
Takes up
thing
the whole
online
cover
because,
of the
I
desk.
do like a huge amount of research for the show. And I found that I looked up your name. It says you can buy T-shirts now.
Yeah.
It says Olga's new T-shirts. Click any of the images below for more information, and you get these beautiful European design. Who is the European designer who designed them?
It's a guy in the UK. And
I guess that's Europe
these-
technically, or is it?
Yeah. Well,
It's European.
It's European
yeah, they're in
Union.
the EU.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not as far as the money goes.
Yeah,
The
and
pound is
I
the
don't know.
pound.
Things might be changing.
England is part of the
Yeah.
European
Whole
Union.
borders seem to be going
Even
down.
I know that.
I'm talking about economically.
All
As far as the pound
Yeah.
goes,
Well, I'm
they
talking
keep it
about
separate.
designers,
It's a,
T-shirt.
it's a tough audience right here. Tough
Yeah.
audience.
They're called
Okay.
We Admire. The company's called We Admire, and the quality of
Admire.
We Admire,
We admire.
and the quality of
Okay.
the T-shirts
I
are
heard
actually
we
it's made out of
admire,
that
but
fabric that pulls the sweat and the moisture off of you. So
Wicking.
they're really great. Yeah, for like working out and stuff. And,
So you can buy a workout T-shirt. Once it's 18 pounds.
just a
I just
regular
noticed.
T-shirt.
It's in pounds.
It's in pounds.
Oh, very
But
sophisticated.
they make it for you, so you pick which design you want and which color. And,
It's
and
custom
they'll-
made.
It's custom made.
How much is 18 pounds? Like 40,000 pesos or something? How much is that in actual
Little rusty
American
on
dollars?
pesos, but
How much American dollars is
well,
that?
what is
30?
it? I don't know what
like 30
the
bucks.
translation
It's
is
about double
for
right
dollar
now.
to pound. Is it
double.
one
It's
point
about.
three,
Chuck
one
said.
point four?
1.65.
So it's
Oh, it's 1.65.
Oh, it's going down a little bit. Okay.
so that's like $30 for
Well,
a
but
friggin'
that's
T-shirt.
standard. I
Is
mean,
that
what-
standard
so-
now? Okay.
What website
For a
have you
good
been to
shirt,
that's not $30?
It ain't wrong.
Pornhub. That's way cheaper.
You know.
He's totally
But it's
scored
not
his
custom
Pornhub
and it's
shirt,
not out
y'all.
of
Just
quality.
letting you know.
No, it's not wicking.
This
You
is a
can't
good-
get any wicking
No,
T-shirts.
quality.
no waking.
Yeah.
No waking.
So these are pretty cool. Then this is in black and white because the printer's
No,
in black
yeah,
and
they're
white, but they're in
color.
color. So they're your face, and this one's got on a guitar, and this one's got like a water.
This
tower
one
or
actually has.
something.
He wrote like lyrics in the
Oh,
guitar
cool.
as well.
Okay. And this one has like a
Others.
water tower. And
Yeah,
this
it's supposed to be sort of a delta, like a water
Okay.
tower from Mississippi.
very cool. Then how's the sales going?
Fine.
People are buying them?
Yeah.
You got a lot of people look at your stuff on YouTube. I'll say that. Those videos are huge. And then you can also buy Olga Hemp Lip Balm.
Yeah, if you buy a CD or
You're
something,
really
you can have
branching
lip
out
balm.
with the...
I've had that forever.
Have you? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
With the hemp
Hemp.
aspect. How did you get involved with making hemp lip balm, and why didn't we know that before?
I don't know. I guess you just didn't look, but
I didn't.
I've been doing that for like 14 years.
And how much money are you making on a lip balm?
I give them away for. If
Oh, they're
you-
free?
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to buy lip balm, then I'll.
It's
you can buy lip
$1.50,
balm.
it says here. I guess
Yeah,
they're
but if
cheap.
you buy a CD,
there's-
I just give it to you.
They're not in a, well, okay, but who buys CDs anymore? People just steal it right off the
I know.
No.
Yeah,
No one's
it's
buying
it's,
CDs.
No.
Yeah.
I still
Sarah.
buy
It's a
It's a
CDs.
bit of a.
Okay.
And vinyl.
Oh boy, Sarah's the...
Oh no, I'm sorry. I am a. Sorry.
I mean,
love-
I'm with you on that. I agree.
Right.
It's a problem. You know.
Well, in Chicago, I go to live music every like 3 to 4 nights a week. I will work people's merchandise. I will
Hello.
I will sell it for them in a heartbeat because you know what? That's the only way they're going to make music
Okay,
and they're going
hang
to
on
make
a minute.
money.
You're volunteering to be a merch person.
There you go.
No.
I just
Anyone.
did it.
You will.
No,
Yeah, I got a
right,
gig
no, I did-
Saturday.
But
You're
yeah,
welcome to
I'll
help me sell.
I'll do it for you.
We've got
I'll
two
sell
people
it.
right here. You could-
Got it. But no, I'm like that's the thing. And like if you love their music, yeah, I'm going to sell it in a heartbeat. You
So
know,
you go to a gig and you volunteer to be the merch person.
I do. I'm like, I get in for free and I love it. And I will sell you know what? They're going to make music and they're going to make money. And if they want to spread their music, oh my God, I'm going to do it in a heartbeat. And I'll make money for them.
Okay, and would you give away a thing of lip balm with each one?
I can bring lip balm. Sure.
No.
There's vegan
No,
peppermint and
I don't
there's
need
regular
to.
peppermint.
No.
Yeah, I
You know
got
what?
lip balm.
Their music
What's-
speaks for
worries
themselves
me a
typically.
little.
But yeah,
the
but
thing
you know
that's
what?
a
If
little
you can,
challenging-
why not?
Yeah, the thing that's
Why
challenging
not?
now is that I haven't actually put out a more recent physical CD in years. Like my more recent albums are all digital, so
Right.
people have to go to their phone.
Do you have a
I
recent
I have
one?
older, albums
Was
that
Blues
I still
Babe the
have
last
CDs.
one you did?
Blues Babe was the first
That
one,
was
and that's out of print.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Who cares?
So
Wow.
2
I'm
of
just
them
gonna
I have
steal it.
plenty of. 2 of them I still got
Is it
plenty
on
of.
Spotify? 'Cause what
Backwards.
the hell?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it being out of print.
Oh
then.
no, I got my Spotify royalty check a month ago.
How much?
It was like 0.08 cents.
I know.
I posted on
Great.
Facebook, and I had like 100 and something like people like comment and like on that.
If all those people gave you a cent, you would have made more money.
Well,
than you
if you
would
think
have
of
made
it,
on
0.08
Spotify.
is that's a lot of plays.
It's just unbelievable. Well,
because it's like
the going rate.
2/10,000ths of 1 cent per play.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
0.08 is like there's people who haven't even gotten a
ridiculous.
check at all.
Well, there are bands
and
that are
Amazon
like,
launched their own version of Spotify kind of thing, and they also sent me a check, and that was like 0.02.
excellent.
So I deposited them.
Where did you take them? To the bank?
I
No,
put 'em in
do they
I
take
put them
them?
in my savings account.
Oh, that's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
was
like 0%.
At first, I was like miffed. I'm like, screw this and blah blah blah. And I just sort of cast it aside, and I was like, no, wait a minute, I'm going to cash that. Screw that, because they paid more to mail that to me.
Yeah,
And the paper costs more, man.
And the paper costs something too, and
Yeah,
so
exactly.
let's not waste. Why not waste
Okay.
time? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that is good.
maybe
that
I'm
you-
putting
it's
like
good
the
that bank
positive
took it.
vibe out there by
Yeah.
Yeah.
like depositing it and just being like, I'm gonna just pretend that there's a lot more zeros in the front.
Right.
No, in the back.
Well, that is a pretty bad day for.
No, there
recorded
were a lot
music,
of
but-
zeros in the front. That was the problem.
Yeah, there were a lot of zeros in the front. What am I saying?
Well, no, it's-
Move the decimal point. That's what I meant.
It's funny. It's
Move the decimal
I was
point back.
listening to something on NPR the other day where apparently there's litigation coming up about that because there are bands that have had 100 million plays and have gotten a $32 check.
Well, that's
You
what
know,
happens
like,
if you
it's
work it out. What's the going
ridiculous.
rate? It's point
That's-
zero
yeah,
it's
zero
like,
something
what,
a
you
spin.
know,
You know.
it's
10,000ths of 1 cent.
It's
So-
what? It's
2/10,000ths.
How many zeros is it?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
it's
like
like
What does that look
5
like?
zeros in front
Is
of
it
it. or
point
something.
0.00? Well, who sets that?
Yeah, it's 5 zeros.
1/10,000 would be.
That is just unbelievable.
Yeah,
Who sets
know.
that figure?
Who's
Is
a
it?
mathematician
Do they
around
just?
here?
Does Spotify just say that's what we're going to pay? And
Some
they-
asshole who's making all of the rest of the not 2/10,000ths.
Well,
That is-
Spotify is still losing money technically
I think they are.
at this.
Yeah.
That's if you believe what you read on the
Well,
New York Times. You know,
right.
Well, they make their money through advertising.
do they?
Yeah, everybody makes their money through advertising.
paying
So
$9.99 a
when you
month.
go on like YouTube or whatever, you know all the
aren't you?
ads that are
So
constantly
she-
in there, or so you're trying to watch something
Well,
on
that's
YouTube and it's
YouTube.
always stopped. But
Yeah.
it's the same deal. I mean, it's Spotify. There's always you notice that there's ads. Like
Well, I
everywhere. They pop
subscribe.
up
I
and-
pay $9.99 a month
and
to
then-
Spotify, so you get
and
no
you
ads
don't-
at all. There's no
There's
ads
not
if you
little
pay
ads
$10.
on the side and that kind of stuff.
Well, I just listen
Yeah,
to
but
it
it
on my
doesn't stop
phone.
the music. It doesn't stop the music to give you ads. Is what it, and
no,
also,
no, there's no interruptions.
yeah, also
it's the best deal in town.
It's also on your phone.
For
you
you.
can search for what
Well,
you
not
Not
for
for
the
the
artist.
artist.
No, it fucks the artist completely. It's
No, it works great for the artist. I paid $10 too, so it's perfect.
No.
Well, yeah, but then again, listen to this story. I found a band this is current events. I found this band last night on Spotify that I would never have heard of in a million years. It's fucking awesome. The name of the band is, I don't even know the guy's name. It's Norwegian. I'm going to put it on our website. If you listen to this, I'm going to put it on the page that it's on. So go to our page on itsneworleans.com.
Okay.
It's a Norwegian band. I look up the guy. It's real. Andrew, you're going to love it. It's right in your wheelhouse. It's your kind of music, and it's really great. And the guy's in Norway. I go to his Facebook page. He's got 675 likes. That's it. He's absolutely nobody.
Right.
So I listened to the thing. It's really great, and I put it on my Facebook page. I got an email from the guy today.
Cool.
From Norway saying, thanks for listening to my, how did you find me, and blah, 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 blah.
Cool.
And I give it to Christian, who books our music, and, who knows what could happen because of that. But the fact is, I would never have heard of that guy. There's no radio station that's ever going to play that
Right.
in America. And I just stumbled onto it
Community
by
radio.
sheer chance.
Community radio would.
Maybe they
Oh,
would, but they
yeah.
haven't.
No, they would.
haven't.
Well,
But-
yeah, it depends
They
on.
would, but they
somebody's got to
haven't,
push
right.
it.
They
Somebody's
haven't,
got to
and
push
You got
it.
it. You have to get
I
a
found
copy
this
of
guy
it,
on
you know?
Spotify, and who knows if I found it and I tell Andrew and Andrew loves it and he
Right.
meets the guy or the guy comes to New Orleans, who knows what could happen.
I mean, if I were still in TUL, would I play it? If I heard it and liked it, of course.
Well, I could
the
send it
problem
to
is
you.
I have to get a copy of it. I have to know
Right.
about it to be
You
able to
could
play
steal
it.
it
You know?
off of
So,
Spotify, for fuck's sake.
That's a fact. You could do that.
Yeah, and
I
then
could
play
do
it.
that. Yeah.
Right, Sarah?
Yeah, no, but that's a tough way to do it. I'm like, you can't just. I mean, that's a tougher way to do it, but you have to like.
It's a hard row to hoe.
An independent artists right now are like pushing through their fans, and that's the only way they're getting out there is through their fans, and their fans push it, and their fans push it, and their fans push it. If they, and like these people, they're
But this was on the front page. I clicked on what's new on Spotify, and I just
Right.
like the look of this. It's called Drunk Tank Pink is the name of the record. I thought that's
I think I've been
interesting.
there. Sorry.
And I just clicked on it. We've got to talk about blowing shit up as well.
Drunk Tank.
Andrew, you want to play something in the meantime? Come on.
All right.
You have to play something, otherwise
right?
we're going to run out of time. Andrew's going to play us a song, then we're going to talk about blowing shit up. Okay,
I'm always
Chuck.
down to
okay,
talk about blowing
okay.
shit up.
Hang
It's
on,
all
let me
good.
move this out of your way.
Like dolls?
You have
Oh,
dolls?
okay, can I say something?
Yes.
I'm like, I am not the biggest female artist fan. There's like very few. You are ridiculously talented, and I freaking love you. And I think I
Here, have a download card.
thank you.
and you can plant that in your yard after you're done downloading. It grows into flowers.
All right. No. I think you're ridiculously
She's not making that
talented.
up. It does. It has seeds in it.
Yeah.
No.
Thank
no,
you.
thank you.
Are you going to sell T-shirts for her on Saturday night?
I mean,
If
the
you want
t-shirts
me
are
to.
custom. You have to buy them on the website.
Where are you playing on Saturday?
I'm at the Abita Opry.
The
in
Beta Opry on the
Opry
North
in
Shore.
Abita Springs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I could sell the crap out of your t-shirts because I
Yeah,
like
those are
you
custom
and
made,
yeah.
so you got to get them on the website and choose
Oh,
your own
well.
thing. And they make them to order pretty much. Otherwise, it's too expensive to just have like.
Well, thank you
But you
for
can,
giving me a job.
you
anyway.
can sell the
Thank you.
CDs though, right?
I could sell the CDs.
You can help
At
them
the
get rid of
at the
some
Abita Opry.
CDs.
Andrew, what are you playing?
I don't know that song.
Uh-oh. I don't like that
play,
look. Something's wrong.
Changed my mind.
Ah.
Change
Play
my
a song I wrote about this street.
The street.
Well, the Ferret Street Fest.
Okay.
Or at least I had come upon that one, and it made me realize that, like, ever since Katrina, every festival here has a purpose. You know, it's like we're all drinking all the time, but now, you know, we're celebrating something.
Now we have another
Drinking
reason.
with a purpose.
I'm going down to the street fair. Sunny day is alive. Oh, well, me and my baby gonna meet there. My sweet baby and I. Well, going down to the street fair. Sunny day is alive. Me and my baby gonna meet there. My sweet baby and I. Oh, well, they say you gonna meet me at the street fair. Sing a song and bring along bottle of wine, yours and mine, share, baby. If we get hungry, you know that we can eat, baby. Try yours, baby, I'll try mine. Yeah, well, I'm going down the street fair. Sunny day in July, all my yesterdays in a thin air. But today ain't passing me by, not this time. Baby. Say meet me down at the street fair. Sing a song and bring along a bottle of wine. We're both drinking all day. I can feel your body burning like a street flare. What you say, your place or mine? Till I hear the band playing a beat, I got a funny feeling it's right up your street. So come on, baby, take my hand. Let's go dancing all night long at the street fair. Going down the street fair, sunny day is alive. Me and my baby gonna meet there, my sweet baby and I. Oh, we are going down to the street fair, sunny day is alive. Me and my baby gonna meet there, my sweet baby and I. Oh, well, my sweet baby, my sweet baby.
Yeah.
Thanks, y'all.
Andrew Duhan's back home. Very nice. Are you making a record still? What happened with that whole plan there?
Oh, it's planned, you know. Finishing tunes. Got to finish some tunes.
So you got to write enough songs
Yeah.
to go in.
Heading to Nashville the middle of next month, and I will Yeah, hopefully finish the tunes then, and then come
Okay.
back and make a record.
Wow, exciting. Okay. Thanks for that. That was nice. Okay. Olga's got another few texts to go.
Yeah.
Anything?
My
Well, what's
mom
up
is
with-
like Facebook queen now, so she's always like posting on Facebook. She's got like 5 different groups.
Oh, really? But you get notifications on your phone about Facebook. I've turned those off about 100
I know,
years
I
ago. Why would you
probably
want
do.
to know that?
I've turned them off in all the other groups, but this one's pretty good. It's wisdom now and then. It's a cool some quotes and stuff. But sometimes it gets to be much because I'll be scrolling through like, Mom, geez, come on.
So can we friend your mom on Facebook? What's her name?
Yeah, her name's Christine Sperling Munding.
Christine Sperling Munding. Okay, that could be
Although
interesting.
she is picky.
Oh, she won't
Yes.
necessarily want to be our
She's
friend.
picky.
Hey, well, you know what?
And
That's
they're
it.
still waiting on my reply about the pregnancy thing.
Is my girlfriend going to announce her pregnancy? Why would
Whether or not she
announce?
had that
But
pregnancy
announce
during a
to
jump.
whom? Though? But who's it?
Well, so the thing is, since I'm not naming any names, it doesn't matter since y'all like skydivers anyway. But we have a skydiver girlfriend who posted on Instagram her ultrasound, and she canceled her Facebook account or something. And yesterday she befriended me on Instagram, so I went on her Instagram and I saw that she had her ultrasound on there, and so clearly she's pregnant. So I told my girlfriends, I said, well, I think she's pregnant. And they're like, well, you know, are they going to announce it, or why would you announce it on Instagram? Well, obviously she's pregnant because it says it right there, her name,
Can
the
you
date.
see the fetus? I would assume.
I mean, I
right?
can show you right now. I mean,
I'd like
you
to
know.
see her fetus.
But
It sounds
Little
great.
photographs.
she has a protected
Who would?
account. See, it's right
Live
there.
on.
Well,
Let's
is that
see
a-
it.
She has a
Can you-
protected account,
yeah,
so not
it's
everyone
a-
can see
Really
it.
is pregnant, yes.
Is that
It's
a fetus?
It is a fetus.
Okay,
Looks
so
like a fetus to me.
Those to
It is
me
a
also.
well, what do you mean
Or
announce?
chewing gum, depending on the picture.
And she has a protected account, so not everyone can see her
Okay.
Instagram posts. So after she friended me, I friended her back.
I see you've
and
liked
I
it. You put a little heart
Well, I
there.
put a heart there.
I can't
Oh,
wait
that's a
for
nice
this
thing.
dislike button to come up on Facebook.
Yeah.
I think that's a bad idea.
Awesome.
I really think
That's
it's
a
a bad
great
idea.
Oh,
idea.
it's
No,
going
I
to
think
change
it's a bad
everything.
idea. Great
I think because the problem is that people get really mean because they're behind a computer
That's what
screen.
we're hoping. Oh,
yeah.
And they feel like that they can just
So we're open.
they take out their issues on stuff that's got like it's just wrong. And I think the dislike button is going to cause like more harm.
Yeah. Yes.
No. You know
Good.
what? I have a feeling.
Instead
no.
of just ignoring the post, now they're going to dislike it.
Well, know what? You know what? There's so many downers on Facebook. I want to go.
What? Are there?
Dislike.
Really? I think
No,
you can.
no,
Everybody thinks everybody else is awesome on Facebook. You can put a photo of yourself being gored by a rhino, and everyone say you look great.
Oh,
Nice,
you're right.
Nice haircut.
Hang
No.
in there, buddy.
No.
Yeah.
That I want to use it for, like the ones that I want to use it for, like you know, when someone posts, "Hey, if you need to get in touch with me, I'm really sorry, I'm at a funeral this weekend." It's like, how do you like that? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that was a good point.
Like,
But you can't dislike it either because then it sounds like
Exactly.
you're being
It's like-
negative about
well, you
someone
don't
being.
need to like it or
It's
dislike
like-
it. How about you just write, "I'm sorry for your loss."
Because
Right.
who's got time? Who's
Or
got time?
or emoji. Emoji
Well,
is
they don't
amazing
ha-
invention.
They don't have those on Facebook.
I'm
They
gonna
have
tell.
emojis on your phone, and everybody's on Facebook usually on their phone.
Look at that great
So-
photo of you.
Okay, wait.
skydiving.
What about the people who are like the most downers ever? You want to go happy,
That's when you
happy,
unfollow them.
always. Like
Joy, joy,
you don't want
happy, joy.
That's when you
happy,
unfollow
joy.
them.
You're right.
Yeah.
I believe me,
Or
but
hide.
you can't happy all of them. So you don't
No,
want
I
to
don't
down
think
them, but you
dislike is
kind of
good.
want to down them sometimes because
I don't
yeah,
think
you do.
dislike is good.
Nobody
It's
ever
just-
has a.
no.
I mean,
I
except
think-
for
I think it's-
Obama, nobody has
I
a
think
bad
it's
thing to
gonna
say
end
about
up-
anything on Facebook.
I think it's going to end up doing more
I
harm
don't know.
than
I
good.
think it's some pretty shitty things
I
to
really
say about
do.
things on Facebook.
I never see anyone saying anything bad about except politics. Everyone's always very supportive on Facebook about how fabulous you look and are, and your kids and your
That's because
job
I don't put
and life.
pictures of
Wait, that's
myself,
because they
so-
don't
Well,
have the
now
dislike
I'm
button.
gonna friend him and be like,
I don't put
Dislike.
pictures of myself until I get my Rob Ryan hair going. Once I do that
How-
and I start spraying it
How about
silver, then you
Andrew.
know.
instead of a dislike button, how about an anonymous comment box? Because that's what
That's
the
even
people
better.
with
That would
bad
be
things to say are worried about. Anyways,
outstanding.
like, oh, I'm gonna look like a prick now,
Yeah.
but like,
That's
go
even
for
worse.
it. You know,
That's even worse.
I
That would
think-
make
no,
you troll.
actually, you know what?
Sarah's drunk enough to think
I
it's
love
really
it.
gonna hurt some feelings.
No,
you
I'm
know?
not drunk.
Really
I'm
gonna
like,
crush
it
Might
them.
so
destroy
jealous.
some
That's a
lives,
terrible idea.
actually.
As soon as you
I
get
think it's
anonymous,
fabulous.
no, it's the anonymity that gives people the courage
Yeah,
to
it's-
say all
it's
this
gonna get
horrible
dirty.
Right, and you know
yeah.
what?
You
Then
want that?
honesty might be there. Yeah, actually, you know what? Some
Yeah, that's
people
called
need to do it.
but- That's called the
you,
Times
You
Picayune.
don't want a dislike button, but you want an
That's
anonymous
I
an
totally
anonymous
wanna know.
box. That's
Yeah.
that's like
Yeah,
utterly backwards.
It will
right
destroy your
there.
life if you
It
get that. It will
could.
destroy your life.
If you
It could
believe
destroy
it,
lives.
no, I think it's
Well,
fine.
you've got stuff up there. Do people put anonymous
Wow.
comments about songs?
Totally.
Like on your website?
No, they
or
are.
anywhere?
Well, you can on like YouTube. You can make up a name and then
People
comment.
put
anonymously.
reviews. Yeah, people put reviews and stuff on of movies anyway. There's always anonymous reviews about you.
But there's
MySpace
always a
has turned
lot
into that
of like
too,
trolls
so-
on there, and there's just a lot of like crazy comments, and there's always just like a lot of times negative crap, and it's just.
But there's
Yeah.
positive crap too. I
Sometimes,
think that's the problem.
Sometimes there's positive crap.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it's
there's
like,
positive crap.
You go, sister. You know.
Well, that's what that's 9/10 of Facebook is people saying how wonderful everybody else is.
Yeah.
It's just like a mutual support society, which I guess in a sense is nice, but it's so fucking annoying
Yeah.
and fake.
Feeds the ego, sir.
Fake is the
Feeds
thing.
ego.
You know.
It's fake and it's not. Like sometimes
Not
it
everything's
is.
fake.
Not everything's
it's
fake.
sincere.
It's fake and it's not.
But-
Well, which bit is not exactly?
So
That's
yeah,
for you to
know what?
figure out, I guess.
Yeah, I would prefer sometime. I would.
Here's what I've
I would
noticed.
like the
it's always
unlike
kind of the
button.
same group of people
I
that
do.
always comment and like. I've noticed, and it'll tell you how many people actually viewed something. So you have 800 views and only
6
100
likes.
likes, or
Yeah.
or even less, maybe 30 something likes or something. And it's always going to be the same people. So of that 800 people that looked at it, why aren't you liking or why are so?
Are you supposed to have a response to everything in life? Can't you just walk past
Yeah.
something and not
Right.
comment on it? Do you
No,
have
'cause
to
I-
say I
no,
like
I-
it or I don't like it? Who cares?
My point is that we were talking about who the people that mean it.
Right.
Those are the people that mean it. The ones that actually take the time to like and comment.
But
And
not-
usually you
but-
find it's about 10%.
No, but not,
from
okay. I have to not go with that because not necessarily because I might take the time for a second to look at it and then I'm like, ooh, gotta go, and I don't have a comment to
So
go
there's
back
that.
and stuff. So
But-
Is there an ADD button?
generally it's always the same
no,
people.
there's
I
no
was
ADD.
going to
I
comment
just
on it,
noticed
but I haven't got the
No,
time.
no. I mean, I'm just saying. I finished it, but I can't go back and like it because
Okay,
I got to
but
do
then
something else.
The next post you will.
That's what I'm talking
So that's my point that I'm saying. It's usually always the same people, the same 100, 200 people that are in there somewhere that like or make a comment or
Overall, they're
Overall.
the overreaching people that are going to be the same
and because
likers
they
and commenters.
continuously every so often like stuff or whatever, then
Right.
that means that's sincere.
Look at
That's
the
sincere.
awesome
And then you return
color.
the favor. You
Look
like,
at the awesome
like
color of
something back.
Olga's
They
hair.
post a
though.
picture of their kid and you like it.
This is real life. This is not even Facebook.
I know.
Look at
Are
Olga's
you-
hair. It's
Are you
gorgeous.
analog liking right now?
Yeah, that's just 3D.
He's analog liking,
It's-
yes.
Is that actual
That's
color, or
correct.
did you do that yourself?
No, that's my color.
Beautiful.
It's actual
I
color,
didn't
and
notice
she
it. I
can
guess it's
grow
the
her, and she can grow it that long. I can't grow it that long.
What happens?
I love you. No, it just.
I
Doesn't.
love you. There you go. That's a good.
I love
Listen, we've got to get the hell out of here now. But tell us about blowing shit up briefly, Chuck. Just so this is your job. Is you blow stuff up in the
I'm
movies.
a pyrotechnician. I have
You're
5 licenses.
pyrotechnician. We've never met a pyrotechnician, have we, Andrew?
I don't believe that
I
I
don't
have.
think so. I don't know.
So when fires
I have.
start, we should be scared of you.
Just don't piss me off. You'll be fine.
So, how many
don't
people in the
stand too close to the
pyrotechnician
cannon.
business have all their fingers?
A lot of them. You'd be surprised. Some of them don't have their fingers in the correct shape or places, but they generally.
Most
they
people
do
have got all
them
their fingers still.
Yeah,
would've thought
generally
they
when
would've-
somebody screws up with what we do, you lose a lot more than a finger. So you tend to be extremely, extremely meticulous and very concerned about everyone's safety, including your own.
What movies have we seen your stuff blow up in? Or TV?
I've been doing mostly event pyro. I just started to get into film pyrotechnics, so
Event
not a
pyro.
Did
whole
you do the
lot,
Motley
yeah.
Crue?
I didn't do
show?
Motley Crue. Actually, my buddy Kurt did Motley Crue. I did the Lil Wayne show actually right before that. Weirdly enough, because I do not listen to Lil Wayne, but it's just kind of how it falls and what you get put on. You know, we do things like 4th of July shows and deal with. I don't know. I've done bullet hits for films. I've done I haven't done any serious explosions for films yet.
What do you do for Lil Wayne? Lil Wayne, what's
Oh, it was we had actually Jean over there did part of it. She did the smoke for it. It was a low smoke generator, which is sort of part of what we do in special effects. It creates a specific look. But I did.
Okay.
There were flame boxes. There were 4 flame units that went right in front of him at the edge of the stage, and on certain songs at certain times, it would shoot off a specific order of flames for him.
So there's like on a beat, you have to push
Correct.
a button and then okay. So you have
Well,
to
you
know,
don't
do you
push-
have to know where it is, or is it?
Well, it depends. Sometimes you are specifically cued as to what you want to do or what they want you to do, and sometimes they just give you a cue to start, and then you make it up as you go. It just depends on the show and what you're doing.
Andrew, what do you
to be
think?
honest.
It could Be interesting.
Sounds like a cool
For your
job.
show?
Oh, maybe not. Might
Have
be
a
too
pyro
mellow.
guy at the
I don't know.
next gig.
Maybe just to keep people awake. Yeah. Kind of like start dozing off and you just blow something up, like wake them up a little bit. Yeah.
Olga, could be good for you Saturday night at the Beta Opry.
Yeah, Saturday.
Have
and
flames coming out of your head or something?
Then,
Just an idea. Have a think about that.
make me a little nervous just because of the hair thing. Although I do
Probably so.
fire burns for stunts and stuff. I do that.
You do. Fire burns. Okay, what's that exactly?
Where you get set on fire for a stunt.
You've been set on fire. Have you?
You have to be covered with a lot of
Goo,
retardant gel.
Yeah, you get goo and certain kind of
Okay,
clothing.
I was going to try and wrap this up, but hang on a minute. They put goo on you, like stuff.
Yeah, it's like a special kind of it's
Flammable
in powder
goo.
form first, and then you
It's a-
add
it's
like
a-
some water and you.
There's a
Stir it up,
pyro
and it's
gel,
kind
and then
of
there's a
like a gel.
retardant gel. There are
It's
two
a
different
retardant
things.
gel, and you goop yourself up, and then you also goop the clothing. So it's like you've got that extra layer, and the kind of clothing or fabric that they use is like a slower burning fabric.
Yeah, it's cotton. You always use cotton. Cotton
yeah,
is
but
the
there's
fastest
there's
thing.
even another version that burns slower than cotton.
Well,
Rubber.
It's basically
But-
that would be great.
No, yeah,
It's
that'll
basically the
hurt.
stuff
That'll
that
be emergency room visit.
Okay, so you've
basically
got
the stuff
so you've got
Carhartt
this.
makes his stuff out of.
Okay, but you've got this goop all on you, and then they light it, and your actual.
Yeah, but you're
You're on
clothing,
fire.
Protection and stuff,
Yeah, but
and
you're on
ceramic
fire.
and all that shit.
And then what do you do? Are you running, screaming, or something?
Yeah, you might run or scream, or it might be something really simple or small, or
Why on earth would you do that, Olga?
usually you're probably not really screaming because usually you're doubling for someone.
But
so it's
why
like
would
your
you
voice.
do that?
Because you get paid a lot of money.
But given all your
Dude,
talent,
you get paid a shitload of money
Really?
to do that.
Yeah,
so you're a
It's
talented singer,
absolutely-
songwriter,
I gotta fund my
Skydiver.
songwriting somehow, right?
and you set
After
yourself on
that, man,
fire
what's
for
up?
money. Holy
Yeah, I also
shit!
jump off of things for money.
Do you? You're a
Yeah,
stunt?
I do stunt stuff. Yeah.
Well, now we're getting into a whole. We have to get the hell out of here and make way for paying customers. But that isn't a whole. You see, every time we have Olga on the show, I knew that you were a horse. I didn't know you did stunts and set yourself on fire. And Chuck can blow you up next time.
But only with the
Go-
appropriate
okay.
gear and everything.
Okay.
All right. Well, now I feel like a loser, and I'm like, I already jumped.
Well, make something up.
Why
Make
don't you
something
come-
up.
You know what?
Why don't
Now
you
I'm
come
gonna,
skydiving
I'm
this
gonna,
weekend?
I'm gonna pretend I'm
Make
a
something.
I'll
killer,
get your number. Come
and
skydive this
you know,
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a Do you have an ultrasound? You could put on Instagram. We could do that.
Boop, 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 boop. My name is Sarah, and I don't know,
She's
but
rapping.
I'm gonna kick my motherfuckers. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was a
All right,
different
okay.
kind of
I have no
ultrasound,
idea.
but okay, that was good
No,
too.
I have
That was
no
an
idea.
ultrasound.
No, it's horrible.
That was our
very
very special guest, Sarah Vinson, spelled Vinson. Thank you very much.
do not spell my name.
5 months after having arrived
That's right.
in New Orleans, you already have a recording career.
And this is what
That's
New Orleans
fantastic.
did to me.
Nice job. Chuck Lucia, it's pronounced?
Lucia.
Lucia. Holy shit, how did I get that wrong? Chuck Lucia, the
the
co-director of the
drinks,
New Orleans
man.
Horror Film Festival. If you still remember anything about that, it's happening on the last weekend of September.
Absolutely.
And you can find out about that at horrorfilmfestival.com or something.
NOHFF.com. You can go
NOHFF.
to the Facebook page. If you want to get tickets, go to universe.com.
This is too complicated. Just Google New Orleans Horror Film
You
Festival.
can do that also. It'll
and we'll see
blow
you
up
there.
all over the
And we
place,
have to go
yeah.
see this movie called House on Pine Street.
It creeped me the hell
I'm
out.
looking forward to seeing that. And if anyone asks you how you found out about it, say Balls Cobain sent you.
That's right.
Olga, thank you very much for coming down here.
My pleasure.
As
Thank
well,
you.
great to see you. I guess we'll see you in another couple of months and find out
Hopefully.
yet another
Yeah.
side of Olga.
Or
Mundane.
find out the end of the jumping
Something.
off of setting on fire story.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Or,
There's
yeah.
There's an end to
There'll
that
be
story.
more of that, I'm sure.
Yeah. And Andrew Duhon is back. Thank you very much, everybody.
see you, buddy.
Good to have you back as well. Thank you so much. That's our show for today. The producer of Happy Hour is Graham DePonte. Our associate producer and technical director is Chris Kehoe. Christian Unruh is our music director, and our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can sit around a table for about an hour and drink free booze, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, itsneworleans.com, where you can also check out many other happy hours and some other shows we make here at INO Broadcasting. Out to lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace, true to the game, with the fabulous Chris True, Midnight Menu +1 with Margot Moss and the Man Who Ate New Orleans, Ray Canada, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker, Milo's Music Parlor with Kim Vu, and the revolutionary new way to buy a house in New Orleans. Unlisted Nola is also on itsneworleans.com. Keep up with us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram as well, where we have photos of our
Instagram, yes.
fetus. You can find us on all those. On all of them, we're called It's New Orleans. You can also find photos from this show and find out what we look like on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook and Google Plus pages. Those photos are taken today by the fabulous Alison Moon. If you're listening to this show on iTunes or Stitcher or some other podcast app, thank you for subscribing to us. Do one thing for me. Take a moment to rate and review us. That will help other people find us. It really does. Our show is recorded live today at the fabulous Wayfair on Ferret Street, where they put fine dining into a sandwich, fine booze into a glass, and have a fine happy hour all weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For Andrew Duhon, Graham DePonte, everyone around here, around the table here at Wayfair and back at our office at INO Broadcasting. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. We'll see you back here next week on Happy Hour.
Yo, if we go to 7-Eleven right now, we can be back in time for the game.
I don't know, man. I don't want to miss kickoff.
Okay, but Red Bulls are 2 for $5 right now when I use my 7-Eleven app.
Dude, but kickoff.
But how are we going to stay on top of our game while watching this game if we're not on that 7-Eleven game?
I don't know. How?
Keep up, dude. 2 for $5 Red Bull with my 7-Eleven app.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, I'm feeling you now.
Thank you.
7-Eleven. Be game day ready. Plus tax where applicable. Valid at participating locations.